In 2003, Sébastien Foucan led a small group of French freerunners on an extraordinary journey across the rooftops of London's most famous landmarks. Since then, the interest in the extreme sport of parkour, or freerunning, has exploded. This year, he's coming back to London to begin a new journey across some of the UK's biggest and most iconic locations. But this time, he'll be joined along the journey by some of the British newcomers to the sport. Together, they'll jump Britain. When parkour came to the attention of a worldwide audience, few believed it was anything more than a spectacle of men jumping from rooftop to rooftop. But the appeal of parkour was underestimated, and a movement dedicated to movement has been born in the UK.
When everyone's going down a turnstile or down some stairs, there's always the one person that's going that little bit faster, that little bit more efficient. There's people who are taking the inside route through a turning because they're trying to get to their meeting faster, or these little routes and turns. We've just elaborated on this with a bit more confidence, a bit more enthusiasm, a bit more imagination.
Central to this new sport is a philosophy that changes the way the freerunners view their towns and cities. Obstacles become a kind of urban furniture, springboards to launch off, leap from, or land on.
Everyone has their own way of moving, and some people are very fluid and elegant, while others are more explosive and dynamic. Everyone thinks differently when it comes to parkour. The different freerunners will use different techniques. They will create different ways of moving to overcome just a simple box. You can create so much with just a rail. It's incredible.
To see people doing this without any skates on, without being on a bike, and just using their own body, it's just inspiring.
The internet was the most important thing in the whole growth of parkour. Anyone can get hold of a camera and put a 5-minute video on the internet, and that's how it grows.
At first, parkour wasn't easy to find on the internet, not least because no one was sure how to spell it. It was only a matter of time before a UK website was created.
It kind of spread outside of France very quickly throughout one year, about 2003, and Urban Free Flow was the first place for people to discuss parkour, basically.
The creation of Urban Free Flow was led by a former boxer and recent convert to the new French discipline.
I finished boxing at the age of 26 because I got married and had a kid. And I decided to get into martial arts to kind of fill a void. And I never really felt that that void was really, filled. And then I found parkour, and then it was. I found a couple of guys based in London that were doing it. We arranged to meet, and I decided to kind of try it out to see how I'd get on. And I found myself really, really enjoying it. And Urban Free Flow was pretty much born 2 days later. And the site, since February the 10th, 2003, has had over 5 million hits.
As the British scene began to organise itself, like France, teams of freerunners formed all over the country.
I got an email from Easy, and he was thinking of starting a parkour day in England where English people could train and share tips. He said, "I would like you to come along and meet us." And I was really scared because my parents had convinced me that he'd be like a paedophile. They were like, "Don't meet people on the internet because, you could end up getting raped." And I didn't really know what Easy would look like. And when I saw this massive, big, bald guy, he had a really stunned face, I was like, no way. But then behind him was Acid, and Acid had this adrenaline-packed grin, like he'd been doing the most awesome thing all day. And I was like, yeah, this is the future.
Kirby was raised in Surrey, in a post-war urban landscape not dissimilar to the French birthplace of parkour.
I moved here when I was 7 and we started roller skating everywhere, but the council pebbled everything over to stop us from skating. So we started playing in the parks. We'd get asked to leave the parks because we were too old. So we started climbing on everything, and it kind of encouraged us to find new ways to move. Then I remember seeing a video on the internet of Sebastian and his friends, and it was like something we'd been waiting for, something that had given us the green light to say, go, there's something that can be done with this.
But for Kirby, free running would prove to be more than just a physical release.
When I was about 14, 15, I had what I thought was depression. I'd been to the doctors, been to see counsellors, and you know, they couldn't really work out why I had depression. There were times when I'd been really, really upset, and then I'd find myself going out and doing parkour and forgetting who I am and forgetting every one of my problems. Becoming Kirby, I guess. Not being John anymore, not having the weight on my shoulders that John has, but being Kirby, just practicing my free run, putting videos on the internet. People know my name, people know who I am. It's given me the best group of friends I could ever hope for.
In preparation for the challenge ahead, Kirby and another member of his team are making a pilgrimage to Paris to see the suburb where free running was born and to train with Sébastien Foucan on his home turf.
I don't know what to expect really. It's got a lot of hype around it about the things you can do, the things that are actually there. So I'm hoping it is as good as everyone says it is, and I don't want to be disappointed when I get there. You know?
Sebastian, I think I would see him as the head ambassador of parkour. He's thought very deeply about the philosophy and the intellectual side of parkour.
His parkour's on another level, and that's because he's trained really, really hard. You know, he's put the time in, and he'll say himself, there's no secret behind parkour. It's about practice, 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 and it's just getting out there and doing it.
Lisse is the mecca of parkour, without a doubt. So all the locals have picked up the parkour skills as well, and they just practice it casually on the street. All these kids all over the place. Its architecture as well lends itself really well to learning parkour, and I can see how it sprung up there.
When we were a child here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. This is here. We have a lot of things.
It's got to be done.
For practicing.
Sebastian is very important in parkour. He's kind of opened all of our eyes up to what free running really is, the art of movement and how it's supposed to be done. It's not about the big, spectacular jumps that you see. It's all about the small footwork, the foot placement, the hand placements. It's about the way you move.
Here, it's a famous place too. Here, yes. At the beginning, it was just this. For example, this is the first jump, and after, I'm here from there.
Really? You can do that?
Yeah.
Oh. That is very good.
But I have a lot of things to show you over there.
Okay, yeah. Getting up that roof. How did you? That wall is massive to get up.
Oh yes, over there I can to show you.
Do you guys still meet up here ever?
Still meet up together?
Together to train.
Yeah. But practicing it always the best practicing it when you are alone. But
you think
you
so?
have a lot of things. Yeah. Okay. Because you need to be focused on yourself. You can do a jump with a friend, you know. It's okay, but when you're alone, it's different. You're a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
And you need to find why, and you need to find the solution, and etc. This is good. Yeah.